Welcome back, everybody. This is the Natives in America podcast, and I'm your host, Benjamin Wan. With me, as always, is Sky Anto.
Hey, what's up? What's good?
There he is. And tonight we got a special guest. We got Waylon Throssell. You on there, brother?
Yo, how's it going?
He's back.
Hey, What is this, the third time?
Yeah.
Third time's the charm?
Hell yeah.
Third time.
Let's knock it out. All right. So tonight's subject, we're all agreed here. We're talking about Bigfoot, right?
Yeah. It's been on the to-do list for quite some time. I think you mentioned it in the first episode.
Yeah. I want to start by saying that I think there's a whole lot of I'm kind of one of those people where it's like, all right, we would have one by now, a skeleton. You know what I'm saying? Like there's, I think the argument is still out. The people are still out going, yeah, they're real, yeah, they're not. Like I want Waylon or Sky, or maybe at the end I'll be all mind changed. But like where do we fall on this? Or what is Bigfoot? Really, let's start there. What is Bigfoot?
You want to go, Waylon?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so to start off, the big question is, am I a believer?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The answer is yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there.
Now, why? Like, have you always been a believer?
Yeah, so for me, I think this world is wide, it's vast,
Okay.
There's so many things being discovered, every day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of that stuff we didn't even know was there, but
Yeah, true. Yeah. Is that your argument? Yeah, no, I could agree with that. Like, it kind of drives me nuts. Like the ocean, we just can't explore it. Like we're already looking up at the stars. We're looking at the other planets. We're looking for planets outside our universe, and really, we still haven't even looked down. We haven't covered everything here.
Mm.
So that's a pretty good argument. Now, what?
I mean, go ahead, continue.
So, I watch a lot of I found this new guy, and I've been advertising him on our show as Mr. Ballin. And he's just a storyteller. He tells dark stories, like he does research. He finds interesting parallels and missing people, and he has this whole section on missing, missing or lost. And there's a whole lot of stories of people coming across something they can't explain out in the forest. There's a whole ton of people that just go out there. I would even say people that shouldn't even be out there. They really don't belong out there. They have no business being out there, but because they're unskilled or inexperienced. But they do it. They go out on these camping trips, and then they come across weird sounds and things and monsters and people, and and sometimes it's way the hell out there. What have we explored out there? I guess I'm going with you on this whole vastness.
Yeah.
But what else? What else? Do you have some sort of experience that you had that makes you go hell yeah, or is it just the possibility?
Me personally, I haven't had no, Bigfoot encounters. I haven't, just being in the desert or something, just see something. But, like I said, it's a vast world. I like to see it as full as wonder. you know?
Yeah.
So I'd like to believe it, you know. Of course, seeing all the videos of him walking across the road and looking at the camera, you know.
Yeah.
With that look, he's like, what are you looking at, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Like, a lot now. Like, I think we've all seen the one that was obviously debunked, I think. You know, it's the big long straddle, and they look over the shoulder. And it turns out it was some guy in, like, a monkey suit. Right?
Yeah.
Or a lady, I forget what it was. Like, but there's a ton of them out there now. Like, there's a whole bunch. And I think the recordings are sometimes the most, I mean, I don't know. I've seen dudes practice the sounds, you know? Like, they're out there and they're squatchers. You know? But they're out there and they're like, oh, listen to the stick baiting, and then they do stick baiting, you know? Or they're like, oh, listen to the, you know, the whale, and then they practice the whale. So, like, it wouldn't take much for somebody with a camera to go, let's make a Bigfoot sighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. It's tough to call.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I see a lot too is the way I don't know if it's all Mr. Ballin, but also the guy, the Dark Knight Horror Project. Dark Knight Horror Project is another show I listen to. And what he tends to do is compare, like, he's usually checking on people's home pages, like their YouTube's channel, and he usually says, you know, they have tons and tons of videos, and none of them are about Bigfoot. So when they have one on Bigfoot, it's like it kind of adds to the believability. It adds to the fact that they're not out there trying to make Bigfoot videos, you know, every week. You know, it's like all of a sudden they had this experience. You know, maybe they're survivalists and they're doing a ton of survivalist videos, or, you know, camping trips, and they're outdoorsmen, so they're always doing outdoorsy stuff. And then all of a sudden they have a Bigfoot video.
Yeah.
And then I've had people do the argument that the tone, like there are people that go out and they get recordings, and the scientists that are, like, you know, cross-examining them, trying to debunk them. Some of them say the recordings are the wailings of an animal that are beyond the range that we're capable of. That humans, Homo sapiens, let's say, since Bigfoot's like a humanoid, you know, a bipedal animal, humanoid, let's say, they say their wailings go far beyond our own.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Just like that, like he's pretty big. I mean, from stories, just like that, like from what I've seen on, like, you know, like the videos and how people, like the eyewitness people, and they're doing their statements and everything. You know, I mean, the sounds of it, like, you know, sounds pretty big, you know. And I think that's true. Like, if you know, he's real, he kind of got some big vocals there, probably some big lungs too, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I could see that, like how, you know, it could be like a range where I guess some normal guy or normal lady may not be able to reach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's screaming from his feet, you know.
Screaming from his feet. Now earlier you said you kind of hope it's real. You want him to be real. Why is that? Is it?
Just
go ahead.
I say that because, like, you know, there's just, like, you know, with the believers, you have the non-believers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion and everything, but, you know, like, this is just one of those ones that everybody's so divided on, where, you know, it kind of seems like people who are defending it kind of seem like they're kind of in denial, you know, like there's no magic in the world or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that as you're saying that, like these are people that live in a tiny world.
Mm-hmm.
There is no more wonder. Like I've heard it said like they're just people. Everything they say, oh, it's just this. Oh, it can't be anything else because it's just this.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I have a question for both of you, but it's like how. I guess I could have two separate thoughts or feelings towards Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Whatever, I guess, agreeing on what we're talking about, because there's like a lot of. So I guess my question is, and we've asked this before, is Bigfoot just one person, or are there just a bunch of them? Or, I mean, scattered upon wherever, America or whatever. If it's just the one and no one's caught him, I mean, I think that could be a real thing. But if there's a whole bunch, I mean, I guess I'm asking, do you guys think there's several of these things walking around, or is it just the one?
The way I see it is there's stories the world over. Not just here in America. Like, we're not the only the crazies, you know? We're not the only ones that believe.
Yeah, but when we say Bigfoot, are we talking about just a big-ass creature that there's several of, or are we talking about one specific
what do you think,
individual?
I think there's multiple, you know, just like that. Like, I mean, like just hearing kind of the stories, you know, how they talk about, or like some of the dudes that go and do like the Bigfoot hunting and everything.
Yeah.
You know, they go and look at the tracks and everything. They'd be like, oh, this is a baby one. This is like a full grown, you know, and all this stuff like that. So, like, I mean, I'd like to think, you know, Bigfoot probably has a family, you know. They're all probably like going vacations and everything. It's probably why they're all over.
Yeah. I have to bring it up. I always have to bring it up. Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I like the way they ended it, where Harry turns around and then he smiles, you know, and then walks out, and then as you're looking, like these camouflaged other ones start popping up, and the very last one is like a little baby, looks all short and stubby, little sawed off one.
Yeah.
I always like that scene.
Yeah. What do you think, Scott?
So I actually was watching. I did some research. Because I really have no. I think it's like one of the other mysteries of like aliens or Loch Ness Monster. You know, just these creatures that are not seen every day, but they're almost sort of this mythical thing, or like almost from another time or another century, where there's just this mystique about him. So I've always never really done any like research or even given much time, because I just always thought like it was maybe an ape, oversized ape that just outlived or is still holding on. No, a healthy ape, maybe. But this documentary thing I was watching, they weren't the way they were. So there's this area called Spy Rock. I don't even know what city or state it's in, but they grew like marijuana in the 70s, and it was this place where all the hippies hung out. And then it slowly got taken over by people from Mexico. And there's this guy there named, I think it was like Gary Bigfoot. but it was just this big dude that everybody wanted to. I guess he had built this big compound in the jungle where they couldn't catch him, and you know, just like how over time, if there's a guy running around just dodging the cops, he's gonna look insane because you know, he's probably hiding out in some cave or you know, living in I don't know, just being realistic. Where and this like there's you think of NBA players, there's some tall ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then just how we are as humans and as kids, how we can exaggerate or embellish and maybe add our own little spices to this thing where you know we've created this thing more than what it is, maybe. Maybe there is a guy that's dodging the cops and he's living all like Tarzan style, you know, just, I mean, like that fits this concept of never wanting to be caught, but, you know, just kind of hanging out. Because, I mean, if you're from here, I don't know, am I striking any chords or...
Just like the lawless hairy guy.
Maybe. You know, you ever seen those twins, like acrobatic, and they just grow hair on their face? Just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. When people are hairy, I'm hairy. And if you don't have access to a bathroom and you're just not, like I said, you're running from the cops, you're not trying to be all cleaned up. You can grow some hair living in a cave, you know?
Yeah.
It might look very monkey-y, just...
Or too, like if you don't have a circus to join up with, or, you know, however they wound up that way, maybe they... you know, would feel better out in the wilds than out in society where people are looking at them sideways, you know. I've heard this concept, and I'm pretty sure I said it before on our teaser video. I think it was the first one of this season, and I like the idea that there was a point in our history where there was a divergent. There's a place where we diverged. Like there was us in the wilds as humans or Homo sapiens or whatever, you know, Neanderthals, and there was an opportunity to come out of the wilds, and some stayed in the wild and some came out of it. And what's happened is the ones that continue to stay in like out in the woods have grown skills and appearances and smells, because I always think there's smells mentioned, and like they're their own type of being. Like they're not human, you know, they're not a Homo sapien, they're not a Neanderthal, but they're something else. And again, back to that whole vastness of the world, like I keep trying to think to myself right now, how could we prove it? How could we scour every inch of the forest and go, you know, without a doubt, absolute, and go, oh, there's no way there's anything in there because we scanned it all, you know, or we searched it all, and we don't have that ability. Like I keep thinking, how could we practically do that? Like even when you mentioned Loch Ness, there's a finite amount of water in there, but nobody's been able to scan the whole thing. You know, like I've seen them go on like boat rides and they have like a sonar or what do they call it? Topographical mapping ability, and they're out there and they're just, you know, guessing. It's like there's no way, nobody's emptied the lake, you know, and said, all right, there's nothing here. You know, we don't have the ability to do that. So it stands to reason there's something we haven't seen. Like even in the depths of the ocean, there was proof. These guys had they had tagged the shark, and they said something ate it, like swallowed it whole, or at least took a big bite of it. Where the sensor they had tagged it with said the temperature changed by a huge amount, and then it also dove down after it was eaten, you know, and then the sensor came back up. Like, there was something so big, so huge, and so unknown that could happen, you know, that it happened. And I was also watching, it was Mr. Bell, and he was talking about deep sea divers, and they use something called a bell. And basically, like, it's a big, like, bubble that can stand the pressures of the deep. And these deep sea welders, like, they're hardcore, you know, bringing wreckage up from the bottom, but they're required to build stuff all the way at the bottom. And he said there's been, you know, motion. These things come sweeping by, and you know, all the soot gets kicked up, and they don't see it because, you know, they're even with a super powerful light, they can't light up everything. So there's mysteriously huge animals down there, and we can't prove it. Like, you can't prove it. That I think that's what drives me nuts about Bigfoot. Like part of me says, well, why haven't we caught? Why haven't we seen a skeleton? Why haven't we seen something, some kind of proof? Why don't we have a specimen? And then there's animals that, like, when they die, they can wash up on our beaches, and it's like, what the hell is this? This is our first specimen. And like the History Museum, the one that has the giant octopus, that's one octopus. Like, that's one giant. I don't think it was an octopus. It was a squid, the giant squid. Mm. And they're like, well, this animal, the only reason they got it because it died and it got caught in the nets. But that's the only example they have of it because they live so deep. And then they also talk about whales that come up and they're just covered in bites and scratches and, you know, holes in their bodies from something that thinks something as huge as a blue whale is edible, you know? Mm-hmm. So there's this whole group of animals that we have no proof of, but are the only proof we have are these scratchings and markings. And the same goes for Bigfoot. We got footprints and broken twigs, and, you know, like, that drives me nuts. Like, I think people have even said there's like these, like, bases or whatever, like campsites where there's broken branches bent over. And they're like, oh, something forced this thing. It didn't just break. Something broke it. And they're like, they have logs stacked up against it out in the middle of nowhere. And there's, like, a smell and a scent. But I don't know. And it drives me nuts. It's like, all right, like, I want to believe. But again, man, I'm a scientist. And I just find it hard to believe that we don't have proof.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys can tell me this: why the hell are all the cameramen so horrible?
They're panicking.
Yeah.
They're in a panic. They see some crazy shit. They probably don't even have their camera ready. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate because I mean, if you're, like, that's what makes the argument kind of, you don't know where to fall, is because so many people are out there making fake stuff, just like just with the UFOs. It's like it gets debunked, or, you know, like you said, it's a guy in a costume, so you just kind of. You can't take anything serious. So maybe we have proof, but it's just around a lot of false shit, and we're not paying attention or something. But
yeah,
I mean, I think if whether we're trying to believe or we're trying to decide if we're a believer or not, I think it comes down to that question: is there several or is there just one? Because if there's several, I don't know. It just seems like if you have more, that's not unless they're just clever ass motherfuckers and they can't be caught. And I don't know.
Like they've been dodging their whole lives.
Yeah, like that's their skill is to not get caught.
Yeah,
but what about you think Bigfoot has killed?
To not be caught, I'm sure. You know, there's a ton of missing people that are never found. No evidence, you know, no bones, nothing left over. And it's that type of thing, like, yeah, I bet some of those people have fallen victim to a Bigfoot. Or something.
If he's real, yeah. Because it's like, if he's real, then let's talk about the realness of it. If he's not real, let's talk about why it isn't real.
You know what I think it is? It's like,
what's up?
I mean, okay, so I think like not we, but like we as men or humans or whatever. I think we probably have found some evidence of him, whether it be like that, like some hair, some whatever they laid, their footprints or something. But I mean, to me, I kind of think they just kind of like the real stuff that they find is to kind of keep it under wraps. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just cause like that, you know, they have all these looking for Bigfoot shows and podcasts and everything, and then like, you know, what if they find out, like, you know, hey, somebody actually, you know, proved the existence of Bigfoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all that wonder that, like, you know, it just disappears. You know, it's like it's just another discovery. Like, all right, he's gonna be that hype's gonna be up there for a while. And after a while, everybody's just gonna accept that. Okay, this is for real, you know. Then just the interest, you know what I mean? Like it's just gonna like disappear, and like some of these people dedicate their whole lives to it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's probably why, like, you know, they probably have found something, but they're just kind of like being hush about it. You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah, you know, I'm glad you brought that up because. Our typical of our government, they like to keep things under wraps. Like knowledge is power. You know, even just now, like after all this time, like ever since, let's say Area 51 or the crashing of the alien saucer, they've still held their cards pretty damn tight. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of people coming out and going, "Oh, I've seen it. I was there, you know, I was in Area 51, or I worked on their crash." There's that guy, Tom... Crap. Maybe somebody's had to look that up. Anyway, they did these interviews with this guy named Tom. He was like this, a researcher. He was this very smart man, and he wound up being hired by Area 51 to try to reverse engineer their crafts. And, you know, they kept everybody separate and doing their own single project. And he seemed like a credible source. But since he broke the code of, you know, going to the public, they just cut him out. And what I see is, like, even now, like, it took this long for the government to finally admit, oh, there's UFOs. But instead of going, oh, it's a UFO, they had to call it something else. Aerial phenomenon, something aerial phenomenon. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys. Even when they're telling the truth, they're twisting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I can kind of get on board with that. Like, say they did find evidence, it's probably going to be crushed or squashed or hidden. Like, oh, we're going to capture this lab. They have proof. We're going to capture their lab and take it over, and we're going to make the evidence go away.
I guess what is the actual impact of Bigfoot living versus him no longer living?
I don't know. I kind of think of like the effect of an apex predator on an environment, how everything's kind of proportionately taken care of when there's like a domino effect. If you remove the apex predator, then there's a domino effect of overgrowth of a population, and then the destruction of whatever's underneath them. So some sort of plant, some sort of like they're all dependent on each other's, and if the one animal that eats at the very top disappears, then every animal underneath gets affected in some negative or positive way. And if it's positive, it still winds up being negative because then they, overgraze. So they very well could be balancing the dark side in the forest. Like, who knows? We never really know, the impact.
Yeah.
What drives me crazy is there's a whole bunch of instances in our history where we're like, oh, we got to get rid of this animal, and then they kill and kill and kill and drive an animal either extinct or damn near extinct, and then after they do it, then it's like, whoops, maybe we shouldn't because something else goes wrong after that. It's like, oh, well, sorry, our bad. We just destroyed several other environments or killed off all these other animals because we killed off this one.
Yeah, no, I think it's that effect where, like what you're saying, it's kind of who controls the narrative of what it really is. I mean, like if he's, like Waylon said, like people, are looking for him now as we speak.
Yeah.
So like if they're like the government's like, oh, we got him, he's chilling in DC, in a zoo out here, like
Jesus.
What happens then? And but again, the impact of him being caught and it's no longer a mystery, and you gotta, you lost that bet, he's real, but I think as we get further, maybe we might get some, if this is all true what we're saying, and the government does kind of control what we see, I guess, saying that, I don't know, maybe for some others, I don't know how you want to take that, but like, I don't know, it just seems like as maybe one day we'll get some good ass footage, or it'll be like Bigfoot befriends a journalist and lets him ride with him wherever he's chilling, Oprah's interviewing him. And,
oh God!
Just you wonder if that's what really things are, because like we get so like. The masses, like, we all pay attention to, like, these hot topics. And to throw Bigfoot in that mix, it's just, damn, that really grabs our attention, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm just...
You're just saying?
Yeah, I think you said it, bro. I think you said it. Let me pose this question to you guys. Would it be bad if, say, tomorrow proof came out? And by that, I mean, right now there's kind of the beauty of the mystery. If the possibilities out there, it makes other things possible. Like maybe, let's say the afterlife or aliens. There's this unknown stuff, and it's so questionable, so mysterious that it makes all types of things possible. Then, say we got proof all of a sudden. Say tomorrow, like you said, that he's on Oprah, or he befriends a journalist. Let me ask you guys this: would it be good or bad if all of a sudden, oh, it's true? Do you think we'd lose some of that mystery, some of that mystique, that wonder in the world if suddenly, oh, it's either totally proved true or like all of a sudden there's an absolute, like, no, there's absolutely no proof, or yes, Bigfoot's real and here's the proof. Would you want that? Is that something you would want?
I would say yeah, you know. It'd be pretty cool. I mean, yeah, there's the risk of, you know, like we're speaking of the wonder of the world.
Yeah.
Being disappearing or something, but maybe, you know, it could be unlocking other aspects that we didn't even think about, or, you know what I mean? Like, because, like, the question is, like, well, how does he keep disappearing, you know?
Yeah.
Where do you go? So, like, you know?
Because he doesn't exist, bro.
Yeah. And then, because this one video on YouTube I was watching, and you know, it wasn't specifically on Bigfoot, but like it was kind of like talking about, like, you know, I guess at first it was talking about like this ranch or whatever, where a lot of these spiritual believers and everything believe like in aliens, all this other stuff. They're talking. Then the topic of Bigfoot came up. And when they were talking about it, they were saying that Bigfoot's interdimensional being.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, like, he travels interdimensional.
Wow.
That's how he, like, really kicks off, you know what I mean?
Oh, my God. All right, you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was blown away too. I was like, I didn't even think about that. I thought he probably just like hid behind some tree or something.
His little hidey hole.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now that. All right.
He's capable of going to other dimensions.
Wow.
Yeah. So like maybe there's something we could learn from him. Like, I mean, I guess like that, if he really is an interdimensional being and he can travel. And that will prove, I guess, you know, the existence of other dimensions. You know what I mean?
I think it's been proven already, but this is very interesting because it's like he's there and then he's not there.
Yeah.
In all the videos, they're like, oh, he's there. Like they follow him. I've seen some pretty convincing ones lately, and it's like, wow, like my thinking is always like, oh, it's just another one, you know, just another bullshitter, or maybe I've seen it because, you know, they get so much attention, and then I'll see a new video I've never seen before, and it's like, wow, like, you know, the mystery opens up again. Like, you know, I start thinking about it, and then I see something, and it looks real enough to me. You know, the video person, the camera holder seems genuine in their reaction, like, holy shit. But I still go back to, like, the shaky footage. It's like, man, like, why? If you're filming something you've never filmed before, like, this could be the proof that changes everything, why wouldn't you hold your damn camera straight? Like what? Please, people, if you're going to be filming Bigfoot, hold your damn camera straight. And don't take it off. Like, that's what drives me crazy a lot of times is they'll be filming and then they look away and it's like, what the hell are you doing? This is it. This is your moment. I mean, a lot of those videos, it ends with somebody running the hell away. They drop their camera, they're running like, oh, like they're booking it, and then they're no longer looking, and it's like, wait, go back, I want to see, like, please risk your life, I want to see. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But damn, interdimensional being. I always think of something as interdimensional as highly intelligent and highly capable and very advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So to think of this ape-like naked creature being able to do that, or in my mind, naked, you know, just rocking the fur, you know, boots with the fur. Like, I don't know, to think of that, and then he's interdimensional. It's like, what?
Huh. But like someone that can cross whatever like that, like they don't age. It's like if Bigfoot is not interdimensional or whatever, then he would be aging. Does he just age well and they're able to just be like that, runners or good hiders, whatever. That's what I want to know. And then that, I don't know, like maybe there's a planet, not Planet of the Apes, but planet or another place where there's Bigfoots of these creatures, and this one that we're seeing, or maybe it's several, are just crossing over here. Just
jeez,
whatever they're doing. You know, I guess, what is Bigfoot doing here? If that's the case, you know.
Dan, can you imagine if somebody caught one and they're posing with it like people pose with their deer, and they're like, "See, I told you it was real." Can you imagine?
Or maybe he's been caught and then boom, he can just go away.
This whole thing has just, it's taken a turn for the worse here. I'm like, wow, like all right, an interdimensional being. I keep thinking of that. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Star Trek show. It's like the Endeavor or something like that. The names, the Endurance. I don't know what it was called, but they did this whole episode on this interdimensional being that they used it to make their drive, but it was this. It wasn't even an animal that talks. It was just an animal, but it had its connection with the mycelia, the interdimensional network that we're not even aware of, but it was connected to that. And it was just a being. It didn't have any rhyme or reason. It didn't, talk to them and say, "Hey, how's it going?" It was an animal. So I keep thinking that, like I said, when I think of an interdimensional being, I think of a highly intelligent or advanced race of people, aliens. And then in that show, it was just, it was a made-up creature, but it was like, yeah, what if there's this animal that has that ability, but it's just an animal? All right, how about this? Do you think Bigfoot is just an animal? Like, not a person?
He's kind of like a combination of both, maybe, possibly.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the vocalizations.
Yeah, like, how they kind of the missing link.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably that point where a lot of those, animal instincts he still carries them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, like, I don't know where the something's flipped the switch, Like, when it went from, like, whatever Bigfoot is to humans now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe he's that one point, that where it all changed, and he still, still has those primitive, ways and abilities.
Yeah.
Got me thinking, like, maybe that's why it's important that it stays in mystery, or I don't know, but like it's like our perspective on like Chewbacca. Like, is Chewbacca one of the guys, or is he of lesser value? Because he is, he does resemble more of a, I don't know, beast, or not so much humanoid. I don't know. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because we don't know if he's real or not, we also don't know if he's like us or whatever. I mean, I guess, yeah, like that. Like you really got to start thinking about all that stuff too. The mystery just kind of throws it up in the air to where you don't got to find that out. But I think if he's traveling from different universes or whatever, then I think he's like advanced. He's just like I guess not a human, but like on the level of humans. I wouldn't consider him an animal.
You know, I keep thinking about Hollywood. Like I mentioned Harry and the Hendersons, and I've heard it said about aliens and zombies or whatever, like that. Sometimes the government's involved with making movies, and they're trying to prepare us, like the Matrix. It's like they're trying to prepare us for reality in tiny doses that they hide in fiction. And what I see all the time, like a commonality, is whenever there's a new species or maybe an old species, that we tend to hunt them down and kill them. We wanna examine them. We wanna, cut up their brains or dissect them. It happened with E.T. and it happened with Harry and the Hendersons. It was like the animal Harry was better off being back in his forest where he belonged because he wasn't safe in our society. Everybody wanted to hunt him down. There was people that were afraid, and there was people that wanted to hurt him and examine him. Maybe not even hurt him, but they just wanted to kill the mystery. They wanted to chop him up into pieces and make him, examine him. So they wound up returning him to, like with E.T., they returned him to his people and his planet. And with Harry, they returned him to the forest. And I feel really dumb talking about this. It's like, damn, I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I got a question. Have you guys seen that movie Strange Wilderness?
Yeah. What's it about?
Who's in it?
It's basically like this dude has this failing nature show.
Oh, yeah. That shit cracked me up.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that when you were saying, like, Hollywood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Got me thinking, like what other Bigfoot movies are there? And others like Harry and the Hendersons, and the Strange Wilderness. Yeah.
I loved that when they shot him all up and then they put like a gun in his hand. Like, oh, he attacked us. He had this AK, They
yeah, he just comes out of. That's pretty funny.
Hilarious. I forgot about that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I forgot all about that. Damn. But yeah, like that. Like say this animal, this creature, this person, this thing, whatever it is, if it were real, its life would absolutely be in danger. Absolutely, like without a doubt. That kind of blows my mind. Like, yeah, he'd be a lot better off staying a mystery.
Yeah.
because just by habit or experience, we tend to kill things that are mysterious or dangerous. We tend to just off them.
Yeah, I think that's it's almost like our quality is destroying things.
Yeah.
But it's always like with the reason and intention, whether we're scared or fearful, or it's like we have to kill it to understand it, you know?
Yeah.
That maybe not so much scientific, but like the whole research and kind of, you know, actually having to cut open and see what's inside. Like, we find one of those, it's, you know, everybody's gonna want to do their picking and poking and all that. Like, so, I don't know. I mean, it's almost best if, like you said, like if we don't know, but it's like when you're talking about the Hendershire and the Hendersons and just kind of showing that almost unconsciously that humans aren't safe to be around.
Yeah.
Like we can't handle the truth, you know, we're almost dangerous with certain information, and that's not such a good thing. But maybe why is that? Is that a human thing, or is that just...
It's in our nature now, like... What do you think, Widow?
I mean, you know, with hearing all this, you know, it kind of makes me think, like, you know, what if, like, Bigfoot sees that in all of us, like, in humans?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why he's always taking off. Like, he's not trying to associate with us. He's like, oh, damn, this can kill me. Or something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, damn. It's like, this place is sketchy as fuck. Just take it off.
Can't trust any of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. But maybe he sees that, like, the violent nature in humans, and so that's why he decides to stay away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, he knows he's different, you know?
Huh.
Hardcore.
So, I wonder if he sees Earth as just, like, he sees us as Bigfoot, you know? Like, we're the creature, and he's just, like, normal. Yeah.
I can't help but feel silly that we're having this conversation. I want to believe.
It's real. It's real shit.
I want to believe. Like, I like the mystery. I think that's why I dive so hard on aliens, because it's like, man, like, there's so much we don't understand. Even though it's like right there in our faces, like there's videos all over the place of strange lights and occurrences and stuff that just can't be explained. Even though, you know, people have tried, people have examined it, and I love that. I love the mystery, the unknown, and like I said before, it's like It makes the world of possibilities bigger. It makes our world bigger, and sometimes it feels like we're so small and meaningless. Or, you know, that question that, you know, what happens after we die? Like, am I willing to accept that we just go in the ground and rot, or what I've been believing lately is our vessel, the thing that keeps us stuck, is finally releases us. The energy that we are, our soul, you know, our quote unquote soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you know, it's like, hey, if aliens are possible, if all this energy we talk about, like atoms and electrons, protons, neutrons, and if that's all possible, if, you know, this solid object that all my stuff's sitting on this table, it's a grouping of atoms that have space between them, but then when you touch it, it's hard. You know, you touch steel, it's solid, and then if you heat it up, if you energize its atoms, it's suddenly liquid. That's crazy. That blows my mind, you know, and the fact that there's that much mystery going on, it's exciting.
Mm.
Like for me, like I say it all the time, I'm science-minded. I'm a scientist, and when there's something I can't explain, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know if you guys have watched the Kanye documentary on Netflix. There's like 3 parts. There's a part where he goes to visit his mom, and he's asking, because she's talking about seeing him on TV, and he's kind of asking, like, am I arrogant for talking all this shit, and or like my statements, like, am I arrogant? And she says, no, you're not, but, you know, then she tells a story about a giant, and she says, like, he's a giant to everybody, but when the giant looks at himself in the mirror, he sees nothing. And because I want to believe too, but if we're believing, then Bigfoot looking at himself is, you know, just, he's not Bigfoot like what we see. He's just another guy, another soul, another force of energy, yeah.
Normal foot to him.
Just another rolling stone, you know, on the planet. Just trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents, you know? But, I mean, the reason why I said that, because it's like, if it's real, then let's talk about the realness of it. But if it's just a hoax, and it's just kind of, you know, something that we can decide and debate about all day, and it just kind of distracts us. Like, why are we distracted?
I keep thinking of this one video, and it's like it's somebody standing in the forest, and it's kind of lightly snowing, and they're pointing their camera at this tree, and at first it just looks like a tree, so you're like, why? Like a pine tree, and it's like, why are they just pointing this camera at a tree? And then while they're doing it, the guy's like, do you see it? You know, I think it's either put up in text or he says it, but it's like, do you see it? And he just keeps pointing the camera. And then he says, oh, it's a big one and a little one, and they're sleeping under this tree. They're staying warm. And I keep staring at it, and I'm like, it's just a tree. Like, it's branches, it's, you know, tree boughs, and there's a little bit of snow coming. Like, I always look at that video, and I'm like, what is it? What am I looking at? Like, it's just a tree. And then you start looking at it, and then you start seeing the form and the shape of them just standing there. You know, the little one in the bigger one's arms. And they got all this thick fur, like black, like a shadow, and they're like in the tree, and they're so well camouflaged. It's like that very well could just be a tree, but you keep staring at it, and it's these animals, this fur, this quite possibly the clearest footage I've ever seen of Bigfoot, you know, like close up. I wish I could share it, like put it on the podcast. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna send it to you guys so you can see for yourselves. But like, I've watched that video so many times, just staring at it. Like, what is it? Is it there? Like, what am I looking at? It's just a tree. It's just a tree.
Mm.
It's a branch. You know, it's light playing with the branches, and it looks like the outline. Like, again, like I said, like all these videos, it's like, damn it, why can't they hold still or capture better? You know, why is the quality got to be so far off?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, I wouldn't want to be standing right next to them while they're sleeping, especially with a child.
Yeah.
You know, larger animal with its children is dangerous as hell. So yeah.
So it's an animal.
It looks like Bigfoot.
Huh.
It's this tall creature with a ton of fur, super thick fur. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say it was a gorilla.
Yeah.
Like a real animal that I've seen before. But it, like, the size and the shape was nothing like a silverback. But it was fur and tall and big. You know, and the only reference of size you have is the tree itself that it's standing under. And it's like, man, like, it looks huge. It's big. Bigfoot. I'm gonna send it to you guys, and you can see for yourself.
Hmm.
And then I want you guys to get back at me.
I think too that there's a lot of theories on, because I saw like 3 different possibilities on what Bigfoot what it could be. You know, like a variety of an ape that no longer exists, but there's that one, or it's like that. If there's little children, I mean, you call them, I don't know, you said babies, but yeah, like if there's little Bigfoots, and they're like, they're getting it in, you know? Yeah. They're multiplying, so yeah, I mean, I guess that fits. If it is a variety of an ape, I can't remember what they were calling it, but it was and it was always funny and they always point out, like, that apes have small brains, and that's what they were kind of saying about this variety of what Bigfoot could possibly be, is this ape with a small brain. But
Man.
is this, I guess having this, like, the way we measure a brain, does it even matter?
Yeah, the brain is another one of those mysteries. Like, this is something we still can't explain. We do surgery on them because we understand part of it. You know, what different areas do what. But there's still no explanation why this gray, spongy-looking matter should make us able to speak or see or talk or think or dream. But it does. And, like, I don't know if you ever seen, like, an elephant close up or a dolphin. I was at SeaWorld recently. And sorry for everybody who thinks I'm supporting black, you know, the black whale or whatever they call that. But when you stare in that animal's eyes, it's staring right back at you. And it's inquisitive. Like, it's... There's no way there's nothing there. I think the fact that we can't speak to them, that we don't understand them, doesn't make them any less intelligent. or alive. You know, like we talk about having thumbs and the ability to speak and do math, but really, how important is all that beyond being alive like an animal? Like, yeah, we can tell stories and keep history and explain things in the world, but how has that served us to be better? Because like we keep saying, it's in our nature to destroy and to hurt and kill. And if we're like that, you know, what has it gotten us? This advancement, this better brain. And like when I stared into the eyes of this dolphin, I could tell it was staring right back. Like it was examining me the same way I was examining it. And it blows my mind. And they're huge, man. They're so huge.
He was probably looking through you.
Into my soul.
He was like, I know this guy so well.
Yeah, better than I know myself. You know, this also kind of brings me up. I don't know if you guys seen The Happening. I want to say it's an M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, the whole premise was that the plants were sick of us destroying the planet, and they started attacking us the way they attack other plants. They were having awareness, and there was science behind that. There's science that backs that up. That when you break a branch off a plant, it's aware of it, and it hurts. You know, it has maybe not the same exact nervous system that we have, but they're aware of this damage. They're aware of something hurting it. No, they have this awareness, and I love it. Like I just love that whole concept. But again, it adds to the mystery and the unknown, and like again, I think it's kind of like the folly of man. We feel like we're so big and important and intelligent and better than everything else on Earth. But, you know, I don't completely buy into it that we're so much better than animals.
Yeah.
So much better than an animal that kills another animal.
I guess I mean, maybe there are some benefits to thinking that we're maybe superior, or almost the one that tells the story versus like a plant not saying anything, just existing. Like, we think we can just do what we want with the plant, and the plant's not going to ever come back and be like, hey, remember what you did to me?
Yeah.
We don't really see it that way. Yeah, like, fuck you, you know. I guess, like, we can always twist the narrative to where, you know, like, we're just trying to do what we gotta do to survive. So, I mean, there is a need to feel that we're superior, or that we are the one that knows it all, but maybe that's kind of the backlash of these mysteries. Like, we're not willing to put ourselves in a place where, you know, nature is fucking with us, or whatever else is out there has a hold on us, or is, you know, influencing. You were talking about that turn in time where, you know, now we're living in houses versus, you know, just having whatever. Maybe it's because of Bigfoot just walking around. We got scared. I don't know. Just talking shit. But I do think that the human mind is sometimes naive, and maybe we haven't really tasted our medicine yet of what we put out. And I'm not talking about one specific, I'm just saying in general of like, if Bigfoot was alive, he would be in a bad spot because there'll be a lot of people trying to take him down.
Yeah.
And they would have their reasons, There's reasons to, I guess if Bigfoot was dangerous, I mean, he is, but if he was he had a vendetta out to get you, would you try to kill him? If he was chasing you, Waylon? If he was trying to attack you, would you take matters into your own hand and...
I mean, I'd like to think I could defend myself. I mean, he'd be pretty tall, but, probably still try to poke him.
Go toe to toe with Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound pretty crazy, though. I don't know what to say. This is the same thing you're talking about, but, what I'm thinking, listening to you talk and everything, it's thinking, what if one day, the big feet, decide to, rise up? You know what I mean? Against man or humans and try to take over or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a movie in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably. Damn.
Yeah, I keep going back to what you're asking. Oh, is there one or multiples? And I just keep thinking that there's the existence of any species is dependent on their ability to reproduce. And it's once they can't, let's say the pandas won't, they won't have sex to save themselves. So they're kind of slowly disappearing. And in order for us to still be taking video and still be capturing footage of Bigfoot, there's got to be others. Multiples. Just sexing it up out there in the woods. I mean, what else are you going to do out there,
Oh, yeah. It's nature, man.
Nature, baby.
That's all you're getting. It's all... Nature is just sex.
Mm-hmm. Nothing but moss.
Nothing but swaying bushes.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of Ace Ventura, the second one. Whee! Yeah.
Yeah, another thing to think about too, because how you said, there might be multiple of them. I mean, there might be different races of them too as well. You got Bigfoot, and then you got the skunk ape, and you got the Yeti. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that.
I also think about giants. I've seen it on what the hell was it? I think it might have been on the Ancient Aliens. But this guy, he's got a specimen, a skull specimen, and they're pointing the camera at it. And he's like, "Yeah, you look at this, and by all aspects, this is a regular human skull. It's got the teeth, it's got the jaw, the eye sockets, the cranial sheath or whatever, it's a regular human skull, right? And you're like, yeah. You're looking at it, it's like, yeah, it is. And then he says, but then check this out. And he pulls out a human skull, and he sets it next to it, and it's like 2-3 times bigger than the human skull. And then you go, holy shit, like, whoa, like, what is that? Like, what is that? Is that true evidence of a giant or maybe even Bigfoot? It's like there's every aspect of it was human. Like, if he hadn't put out the regular human skull next to it, you would never know there was a difference. Until you compared them side by side, and then it was huge. It was enormous compared to this other skull, and I was like, you know, say we did, you know, and again, going back to our natural ability to just hurt other animals, to, you know, it's kind of survival of the fittest from the get-go, from the very beginning of time. Animals have beaten out the weaker animals, or even the threat, you know. And I'm sure that at some point, either all giants were killed, or the majority of them were, and then say the ones that saw that going on took off to the far reaches of the forest, you know, like far away from humankind, which is this survivalist killer species of humans that don't want anything else around them that they perceive as a threat. So, you know, say there were giants, because there's a ton of stories about giants, tons of them out there, and they cross civilizations, and they cross, you know, decades and thousands of years. Say these are the last ones, you know, the last of the super hominids, you know, the bipedal hominids. It's kind of cool to think about.
Damn. Like, do you think there was ever, well, maybe that's what it was, where there was a point in time where humans were competing to be not the dominant race, but we're just lower on, not the food chain, but just like among these other things like giants, Bigfoot, whatever else you want to throw out there. But as humans became more maybe like outnumbering everybody, it just, you know, they kind of feeling outnumbered, ostracized. You know, maybe we're not so normal as we think we are. We're actually like, I don't know, very
murderous subspecies.
Yeah.
Kind of like competing, like trying to stay on top or something, or
yeah.
Like I can see that. Kind of like you know, like, what is it, David and Goliath?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got some big ass giants.
Damn.
What do?
Oh, even that story, like, it's a very, like, conquering, you know, like, you know, you're, I guess, I can't even say that right. Statistically, like,
testicular?
But, no, like, stats, like,
yeah,
most likely, yeah, he's a big ass creature, or he's a big ass giant. He's gonna 9 times out of 10, he's gonna get you, or like 99 out of 100 times, you're gonna get your ass beat or killed. But like that one little percentage, you can take this giant down. And that's kind of not what I'm saying, what that story means with it. And the theme of that story is like, yeah, even though you're small, even though you have everything against you, you can still prevail, even if you're small. Or, I don't know, maybe that's sort of like fits the idea or that concept of like, you gotta take these down. You gotta take these giants down. Or whatever else. I don't know. I don't, it's kind of we're kind of fantasizing about this stuff, but like, I don't know, man, or maybe the giants were doing the same thing to us, and we had to, like, they're bullying us, and we had to show that we're the stronger species.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, what if they fed on us? And the only way to keep them alive was to feed them more humans, or something like that, And then it's like, well, we're done feeding them humans. We're gonna take them out.
Oh, that would go back to like this, like if humans are hunting big ass other creatures, like what are the giants eating? Like other than they're eating humans, what would they eat? Like would they be vegetarians and just be eating like grass?
Yeah.
Talking about them like dinosaurs, but like.
What about like what are they, like the livestock, and then humans just had to like take them out?
Yeah, protect their livestock. I could see that happening so easy, like this open threat that had to be eliminated. I just keep coming back, like I feel like your whole interdimensional theory is. I don't know if it holds water, but I'm saying, like, damn, like, there's a ton of, like, hunters out there that don't miss,
Yeah.
And I feel like if one of these people came across a Bigfoot, they'd take the shot, If they felt threatened or whatever. So I feel like somebody out there would have this being, this beast, this Bigfoot. They're posing with a shot one, a dead one. Or maybe the ones that did take the shot disappeared, because they, like I've seen it where we'll shoot like a bull or shoot like a bear, and it just takes the hit and just comes at you. The bear doesn't always lose. So maybe everybody who's ever taken a shot at a Bigfoot has died, or there's. I can't believe that sentence just came out of my mouth. I'm talking Bigfoot here, like wow, like
bulletproof.
Yeah, well, thick skin. I just feel like I feel crazy even talking like this, like it's an impossibility, and it just. Besides all these videos, these really sketchy, granulated, grainy images that we have, where's the proof? Like that, I just keep coming back to that. Where's the proof? And I feel stupid just talking about it. Like, well, him as an individual, he's a interdimensional being, or he always gets away. And again, I'm like, damn, like there's hunters out there that would take that shot, that have been waiting to take that shot, and there's no way they'd miss. So where's all the images of hunters that did bag one, And then again, maybe they're so used to running for their lives that they always get away. Really, they always get away. I come back to the scientific side of my mind and I go, the probability of them 100% getting away, that's an improbability. Like that wouldn't happen. Just the law of averages, the statistics behind it they don't hold up. Like, there's no way 100% of them get away. Unless they're just that good. They're bulletproof. They get away. They run. They slip into another dimension. Like, I love the mystery of it. And I want to believe, but I think even after talking about it this whole time, I'm like, I want some evidence. I want it. I don't necessarily need it. You know, I like to keep a little mystery alive. You know.
I guess then what is evidence for Bigfoot? Like you need to see his tooth or something, like.
Well,
like what type of evidence?
I'd like to hear some lab results on even if it's a sample of hair that doesn't fit any other animal on Earth, any known animal. Give me that. I would take that. Oh yeah, I would take that. In a heartbeat, I would definitely take that.
That's funny.
I love it. A Bigfoot tooth. I remember that scene on Harry and the Hendersons where he straps on they're like molds from Bigfoot feet, and he straps them on, and he's doing circles in the park, and people are chasing him thinking he's Bigfoot. You know, like, is all the evidence we have of these big-footed animals just that? Sensationalist?
What Harry and the Hendersons, wasn't there like sequels, or was it just the one?
There's only one that I'll watch. I think there was like a second and maybe even a third, but I can't think of them right now.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, why was there a sequel on that? Like, why did he come back?
Yeah, we gotta look that up. That seems too obvious to not know right now. And if it's out there, I want to watch it.
Or maybe Bigfoot is just cool with certain people, and that's kind of how it is, where he comes here just to see what he needs to see, and then he gets out of town.
What about you, Waylon? What would you need? Or do you already have it? What do you need as proof that Bigfoot's real?
I guess, like, okay, so what I would probably consider, like, compelling evidence,
okay,
you know, would be, like, if there was him and another person in the video. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like size comparisons, and like to show that, you know, like, because usually when you see like Bigfoot videos, it's only just a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Huh. So you would take a video?
Yeah, I would take a video.
Huh.
I'll try not to be a shaky, but you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, would you take that shaky video?
Put my finger over the lens.
I think people would say, "Oh, that's Photoshop." Or
I would expect that first. Oh, this video has been faked. This is a fake. That would be my first instinct. Right away, it's like, man, this is faked.
This is digital.
It's fugazi.
At its best, you know, it's like so real. That Bigfoot is so real. He's standing next to a person. But
or another, this is kind of like a ridiculous thing, but like, they get a video of Bigfoot actually taking a dump. You know what I mean?
That would do it?
That would do it. Like, you can't fake that. I mean, they have videos of, like, animals doing it, you know, like taking a dump and everything. Like, the Bigfoot do it, so look, Look real to me.
So you want a Sasquatch squatting, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. I think we had that conversation with Sky. He's like, "Oh, let's see the shit. Where's the shit?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I think DNA is what I would need. Some sort of DNA analysis that makes it completely different than anything else, like something unique, like a fingerprint.
I don't know. It's like again, I think we can't handle the truth. We can't handle it. But
usually something comes after but.
I'm thinking of like, I don't know, like thinking of like Cinderella, where she goes to the ball and then she leaves her glass slipper. And if there was a way where maybe Bigfoot let his guard down for a little bit, and maybe he was slipping and he got, I don't know, there was just like a moment where someone got a good grip on him, and maybe they're holding on for a little bit, but he got away. Like, I would take that as proof. If someone were to say like, "Nah, I had him for like a little minute." Like, for a brief second, I had his ankle. Then I might be like, "Bro, like, damn."
Don't wash that hand, man.
I don't know. Like, that's kind of to what Waylon's saying about it being captured on camera, where there's a human and the Bigfoot. Like, if there's someone that said, "Oh yeah, I actually, maybe wrestled with him for a little bit and he got away," strong motherfucker.
I'm sure somebody's out there right now. Like, yeah, I fought with Bigfoot. Bigfoot's with my sister, man. Me and Bigfoot are tight like this. I loved it when Waylon said he befriends a journalist. I want to see Bigfoot on Oprah.
Yeah.
Maybe Maury Povich. It's like, Bigfoot, you are not the father. That'll be it.
So, if Bigfoot can talk, you think?
Well, they supposedly do guttural wailings. They vocalizations.
Yeah. I saw a video about that where they're debunking they were saying it was a Bigfoot growl, a war cry, but
yeah,
I can't remember what it actually was, but I don't know. Maybe he can sing. Yeah, maybe he can sing, but he can't talk. Yeah, and it is awkward.
he talks shit, but he can't back it up.
Or he tries to talk, but it just comes out as songs. And he gets embarrassed, so he runs.
I think it's in this one interview where this guy was saying that he could, what is it? He can, like, mock or make animal sounds.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
That might be one.
Well, if you're chilling in the forest all damn day, I think you get pretty bored. You'd start mimicking whatever you heard. I saw this one video, and it was one of the ones where they're like, oh, we analyzed the sound from this, and it was beyond the range of human ability. And what it was like this camping family. They're all chilling around the fire, and then they start hearing like crashing in the woods, and it was like they're like, oh, I think it's trying to chase us out of the forest. And it was just these wailings, these loud sounds. I was like, where's this coming from? Like, what? It kind of, it didn't exactly make the hair raise up on my, my skin, but it was like sounds that I've never heard. Maybe that's pretty easy to do, but it's like to make a sound I've never heard, but it brings that wonder up to me. Like, what if?
I was wondering about like dinosaurs. Like, how did they know that's how the dinosaurs sound? Is they do that? Study the bones that much to where they can. Oh, this is an idea of what we think it sounded like. You know what I mean? Like, but if we're talking about those guttural, then I think that kind of goes towards that. Maybe he is some type of ape. But I don't know. We all kind of fall into that, maybe. But I still think we don't know enough about him to where we're just gonna let him slide, or just he's doing his own thing. Like, we have to know more about him. We haven't, not to say we haven't caught him, but we're not showing it off. Like, we've captured it and we, put our stamp on it, pretty much like what we do. Like, we document that we conquered it, or that we know more about it. So maybe the mystery of it is even more dangerous, because it's just like in the back of our minds. Maybe we're like, man, we gotta catch that. We gotta catch that if it is real.
Yeah. Yeah. The not knowing is what drives me crazy, and it keeps the mystery alive for sure. It's like the whole like I kind of cringe when I hear Loch Ness Monster, because it's like, damn it, like, where is it? Where's the proof? Where's the proof? I want the proof. I want it so bad, and then it's just like it just falls like. Almost any one of these documentaries you'll watch, either on Bigfoot or aliens or Loch Ness, it's like they still wind up and they come to the conclusion, oh, we may never know. It's like, oh, we still haven't proved it. We spent all this money making this video, but we still have nothing. We have nothing to show you. We just have stories and hearsay and guesses at whatever that big shape is under the water. It's like, man, like I want the proof so bad, and I may never get it.
Or maybe it's like, how far are you willing to go to get the truth?
I'm not going to be a squatcher. I'm not going out in the forest myself and, baiting on trees and yelling out into the mountains. I'm not willing to go that far. Like, I feel like it's been done, overdone, whatever. It's been done, and still they have nothing. Or maybe they do. Maybe the recordings that have been examined are from an animal we haven't heard before, And maybe that's all the proof you need.
Dude, what if Bigfoot spoke out them?
Ah! They do. He's my cousin.
Yeah.
He's
Like the first word he says is like, he comes out of the forest and it's like, shut the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be the
Maybe
shit.
they call it,
Some guys.
yeah.
Jeez.
Moody.
Man. What was I gonna say? I lost it. But were you guys ever into the Jungle Book? Like,
Yeah.
just that idea of somebody or a human living in the wild and being able to adapt to the plants and the animals and to learn from, nature, I guess, versus what we consider, what would you call that? Formal? Like how we calculate our worth as humans, like whether that's going to school or I don't know, I feel like school's what it is now, but
like civilized kind of?
Yeah, civilized. That's kind of the word I'm looking for, but like this idea of not needing that and still being, able to survive. I mean, I guess survival. Like, is it that bad for other type of creatures now that they can't really survive, or at least they can't live in a civilized world? Maybe that's kind of the weird thing about it. Is when we say civilized, we think like we got our shit together, we're respectful, we're looking out for everybody, but then Bigfoot goes up and we're ready to shoot him. It's got to be thinking about our species and how we're, kind of making it a not so safe place for other things. But maybe there's a reason to that. I don't know.
I don't know. I think we're at the time now where we say our last thoughts here, because I don't know if there's much more we could say about this.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is off topic or if it's still on the lane, but like, do you believe in mermaids?
Oh shit. Go for it. You got this, Waylon?
Right. So, I like to say yes, but I mean, to begin with, they weren't first mermaids. You know what I mean? Like, I think they were like, what is it? The Atlanteans.
Oh.
How that city basically submerged in water, and then the advanced beings, how you say, evolution.
Yeah.
How they developed gills and fins and everything to tread the water. So that's what I think of mermaids. Like, yes, I believe in them, and yeah.
And that's your kind of your proof that they're real? Or that's
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done so much research on my own, but like, you know, every once in a while I'll come across like a video of, it looks real.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody out in the ocean, it's just like really dark and stuff, and then like out of nowhere you see this thing in the water. And then kind of like that. And it looks pretty real to me, but I don't know, man.
Damn. Nah, but like, if we had to be submerged underwater, like, what if it only took like a certain amount of time to where suddenly we were just adapted? And now you're a mermaid now. We know you can handle water.
Grow some gills.
I like that. I mean, I like the idea of turning into a mermaid. A merman.
Merman.
Okay. Bob, what do you think of that?
I don't think any land living animal, person, human, whatever, would last long enough to evolve to get gills. I've seen a bunch of pictures and images. Oh, it's a mermaid. It's a mermaid. And I just don't buy into it. Maybe Atlanteans had gills to begin with, you know? Like, I feel like Atlantis is like a scapegoat for anything underwater. Any kind of underwater civilization. They're like, oh, we found a pyramid under the water. Oh, well, it's Atlantis. And anything, you know, anything and everything that's underwater. Like, oh, that's Atlantis. And they're Atlanteans. Like, I don't know. I keep thinking of how ridiculous, like, you know, what was it? It was the superhero movie, and he was the water one, the underwater one.
Aquaman.
He's like, dude, Aquaman sucks. They did that. I remember they were doing this totally serious scene where it was like the bad guys were talking, and they're having this. It was like William Dafoe, and he's sitting there kind of swimming. I just couldn't do it. I had to turn it off right there. I was like, oh God, like he was like hovering in the water, like floating ever so daintily, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, all right, turn it off. I can't take your serious ass William Dafoe face and watch you float around. I can't do it. So yeah, I'm willing to talk Bigfoot, but I think I'm drawing the line at mermaids.
You're running away from the truth, man.
I'm a mermaid denier, bro.
That's cool, but like I said, truth hurts, man. You know.
Yeah, there's a ton of mystery on all these mysterious animals, you know.
Yeah.
And again, I just keep saying it. Well, I mean, we're doing our own episode here, and in the end, we're still gonna have to leave it to inconclusive theory, and it's theoretical and guessing, and it's tough. I hate that we have to leave it like that, but again, I gotta just leave it to the mystery and say I want mermaids. I want Bigfoot, and I love a good mystery. You know, but again, I don't even know if I believe. Again, like you know, I like the analysis of the sound and the vocalizations that don't belong to humans.
Mm.
You know, I liked that. I would like to see a DNA report on some fur that doesn't belong to any other animal in the known registry, you know, like, I like that. I like the hard evidence. I hate shaky video. It drives me nuts when I'm sitting there and this person is supposedly picking up the very first true evidence of Bigfoot, and then they pull the camera away, or they allow their camera to shake, and it's like, yeah, adrenaline, but God, it drives me nuts. I'm like, point it back, like, go back. I have to know more. I want to see it. You know?
Yeah.
So, I love a mystery. What were you going to say?
No, we don't really train to use our camera for Bigfoot, so I'm assuming, like, if we see him, we're going to freak out because we don't really know what he looks like up close.
They need to get those Maury cameramen, you know, the ones that say they're not the father, they chase them through. Like the backstage and everything. Yeah, then they get those guys on Bigfoot.
I want to see Bigfoot flopping on the ground going, I swear it was him, he's the father. I'm 100%. I know he's the father, 100%. Yeah. Look at that nose.
Yeah, for real, right?
Look at those eyes. That's his baby.
His feet.
Yeah, look at those big feet. That's Bigfoot's feet.
Man.
Yeah, give me a giant TV quality digital camera and let's chase Bigfoot down. Let's put ourselves in danger and get an interview. Get the exclusive.
Get some good ass footage on this.
Yeah.
On this guy.
Yeah. I'll always love that comment. He needs to befriend a journalist. That's how it usually comes out, right?
Yeah. Well, we have to earn his trust.
You gotta catch him first. I mean you no harm. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
He's like the king of social distancing.
Yeah.
He was doing it before it was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's having babies, you know.
He's getting it.
He's going. He has this. Pretty sure he has his people he's close with. Or his lady friends.
Dude.
All right, I think we're done here.
So I guess, yeah, Bigfoot is most likely a dude just going from universe to universe, just kind of an adventure.
Yeah, I've never heard that theory, and I like it. But then it just opens up a whole other can of worms for me. But I like it. It's like, oh yeah, he always slips away, always gets away. Maybe he does get shot, but then his buddies show up and pull him back into the fold, and then they heal him for another day. I don't know.
Dang.
I was wondering, like maybe. Like the weird, maybe just watching all these damn comic movies or how like they combine different like storylines or merge all these different plots and it's a whole different setup. But like I don't know, maybe it's just, Bigfoot is just caught up in the mess of all of that.
Hmm.
And we're just kind of seeing it unfold. But, yeah, I'm glad we had this talk, but, like, I never, I really put a lot of thought into it, because, like, I enjoyed the mystery as well, but I also know, like that, like, sometimes you can spend too much time trying to find out something. Maybe it's better left unknown.
Yeah. All right. Waylon, you got any?
Close it out, bro.
Yeah, you got any last words for the audience here? Maybe an apology for taking away 2 hours of their life. You got any last words?
No. Again, thanks for having me. Always happy to be here. Share a couple thoughts. If anything, hope opened a few minds.
Yeah.
Or blew them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Happy to be here.
Nice, man. Yeah, you're always welcome, brother. This was interesting. I like a good mystery talk, and I like even if in the end I don't quite believe in it or whatever. Like, I'm a hard evidence guy. It's like, Dad, show me the evidence. But I did enjoy talking about him. Our old pal, the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody,
we gotta get him on the podcast.
Get him on the podcast, exactly. Okay. All right, people. I think that's about it for us. Thank you for tuning in to the Natives in America podcast and for listening to the Reservation Radio Network. So peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Later.
Later.